this is Jen with the Swizzle Sisters Podcast, and I'm here to show you how to make hot buttered rum batter. So this is one of my favorite holiday drinks because it's easy to pre-make, it's delicious, everyone loves it, and you can bring it to a party. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing you're going to need are all these ingredients. Of course, the most important one is butter, right? So I got 2 sticks of butter here. I've got brown sugar, maple syrup, cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, and my favorite ingredient, cardamom. So let's get started. First thing you're gonna do is make sure that this butter has been sitting out all night long, so it's room temperature. So stick it in your KitchenAid. If you don't have a KitchenAid, I'm sorry, you should ask for one for Christmas. But I love my KitchenAid, and this has a batter attachment or a paddle attachment. This is the perfect attachment to use for this. All right, so I got the butter in there. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar in here. You're gonna wanna make sure that it's really fluffy. So while it's doing this, I like to add the vanilla. This is vanilla that my friend Sandra gave me from Hawaii, and she put it in some rum, Kuleana rum from the Big Island. It's so good. And I'm gonna put, to taste, but I like at least a teaspoon. So put this ingredient in first. And let it mix for another 30 seconds or so until it's fully incorporated. So the first ingredient I put in after I put in the vanilla, while the butter, the brown sugar, and the vanilla in there now, all incorporated, is the cinnamon, because that's a flavor that you can put a lot in and not get overwhelmed with. So I'm gonna put a full teaspoon in of ground cinnamon. Get the real stuff, because you know there's fake cinnamon out there. Get the real stuff. Blend it. I don't know, 10, 20 seconds, not very long. Next, I'm going to put ground cloves. Some people like cloves, some people don't. If you like cloves, put them in. If you don't, don't. I like cloves. I'm gonna put about 1/2 teaspoon of cloves in and mix it another 10 seconds. Next, I'm gonna put 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg in. If you know nutmeg, you know that it's really powerful and can be overpowering, so you don't wanna put a lot in. So I put about 1/4 teaspoon. Another 10 seconds. Okay. Last but not least, cardamom. So these are cardamom pods. You can get them, maybe you can get them at your grocery store if you're lucky, but I go to the Asian market here to get them. They smell amazing. They're what makes chai delicious. So if you like chai, you're gonna love cardamom. I like to get the pods because they're much fresher, and then when you grind them, you get just a burst of flavor. If you have cardamom powder, go ahead and use that, but I highly recommend getting the pods. So I am opening up the pods and putting the contents in. They look like little black pepper pods, but they are cardamom and they smell delicious. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, you can always just use a bowl with the back of a spoon and crush them, but otherwise use your mortar and pestle and give them a nice little crunch. All right, so I ground up the cardamom pods. They kind of look like this. And now I'm gonna put them into my batter, and I'm going to mix for another 10 seconds or so. Make sure you get them all, because they can stick to the bottom of your mortar. All right, so one last ingredient. I like to use just a little tiny bit of maple syrup. I like the taste of maple syrup. I'm from Wisconsin, what can I say? Gives it another additional kind of sweet that's a little more earthy. There you go. I put about maybe a little more than a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons. So come on over and check this out. The beauty of the KitchenAid. And this is what your batter should look like. All right, so here it is. How exciting. This is your fresh hot buttered rum batter. I'm gonna scoop it up. I'm gonna put it in a container, and I'm gonna keep it in the fridge. You can keep it in the fridge for up to a couple weeks. And you know what else you can do? You can give it as gifts. You can bring it to a party with a bottle of rum and that is like the perfect hostess gift or host gift. Or you could just sit at home alone and drink it in your apartment. It doesn't matter because it's all yours. Look at that, you guys. Doesn't that look good? You just want to eat it like this, but you shouldn't. All right, so guess what? Time to drink. Here's our beautiful hot buttered rum mix that we made just now that you can make too, now that you know how. My fun, festive holiday glasses I got from the Goodwill for 99 cents. Hot water and rum. And you can use good rum, but I use just kind of middle of the line rum for this kind of stuff because you're gonna taste the batter. The rum is just the extra good part. All right, so first thing I like to do is put a generous scoop of hot buttered rum batter in the mug and just leave the spoon in there. It's easiest this way. Pour on top as much water as you want. I would say 3/4 of the way full because you got to make room for rum. Give it a good mix. All right. Might take a minute. There we go. Oh, this smells so good. It smells buttery and delicious and spicy and Christmassy. And then rum. To taste. I'd say at least an ounce. Mix it again. And there you go. Hot buttered rum. Thanks for watching. This is Jen signing off from the Swizzle Sisters Podcast. See you in 2022. Cheers.